Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Mili slash Limbus Company reaction. Today we have Through Patches of Violet. I am aware, before I see any comments about it, that this will not be the official upload, and I'm not going to show the upload. I'm going to be using the picture in the top corner is going to be a related picture to the story, but not of the actual video itself, as well as the link down below will not have this upload at all. I'll update it later down the road with the proper link. But with how adamant everyone is at me listening to this song eventually, but then asking me to wait, how dare you? I can't do that. I don't have that kind of patience either. So I'm going to minimize the credit going to the wrong places and views going to the wrong places. I'm sure I'll be listening to this later on my own on the official upload when it does happen. But point being, I couldn't wait because all of you were like, "Bud, wait for it, but listen to it. It's really good." So, you know what? It's your fault that we're here. Without further ado, let's go.
How much I wish for another better, happier, brighter future. Here I am at the gate.
This is more the familiar sound.
I've made up my mind.
This is the Limbus Company style Mili that I'm familiar with. I love it when she does that duet with herself. It's so cool. Ooh. Sound bouncing between the ears. Very aggressively, too. That felt really good. A lot of texture on that percussion. It's almost staticky in a way. I'm starting to figure out the story as I go here. Oh. Very bassy synth. Sorry I've been so quiet. I've been listening to Cassie. Are you gonna blame me? Ooh. Ooh, that's a fat beat. Delete, indeed. Ooh, I really like that. Not a super common drum beat there. I love duets that like interweave like this. It's so cool. I'm actually surprised that the lyrics kind of repeated. That's not too common with Mili's stuff. Alright, so as per usual with Mili's songs, this one obviously was telling a story about an event in the game itself, and the lyrics this time were actually pretty straightforward. I mean, like, they were still heavily metaphorical. I don't want to minimize that. They were definitely heavily metaphorical, but at the same time, this one kind of told its story a little bit more clearly and straightforward. I was able to get what was happening a lot easier with this one for some reason. I think it was just the way that it was phrased as a conversation that wasn't really lining up. Like, if I'm going to break this down, it basically starts as one of them having and sharing like their intent or their vision of something that they want to do or achieve in life. And as the second voice comes in, it starts to contradict that. So there's a clear fallout of communication, or at very least the goal of whatever they're trying to achieve. They might have similar ideas of how to get there, but not really making it clear what the intent is to the other person. So things just never line up. And the only thing that they agree on is that they're going in circles and that there is no actual goal here between the two of them that they can really come to a full agreement on. And that's where we get into the whole like round and round we go situation vocally. That would make sense to me, because then it falls apart again. And when they get into that next section where they start saying delete back and forth, I think that that is the moment where they are butting so many heads, like they cannot agree on what is happening here. I'm not sure how literal the delete thing is. I don't know the lore of the game that well. I'm assuming it's metaphorical and that they are deleting each other's attempts at reaching their goal because they disagree with the methodology being used. Like, I feel with that final delete, somebody definitely went too far. I'm not sure how far, but I'm gonna assume somebody died, because that's usually the depression route that this game tends to go when it comes to the sadness, and it would track. So one of them went too far with their attempts to stop the other one, and they ended the other person's life, or at very least their relationship was shattered beyond repair. And while at the end there was that section where they were singing together and it felt like there was some sort of understanding happening in that section, it never like goes back to the back and forth vocals. So I feel like that whatever the conclusion made at the very end of the song happened to be was the last one. Like, there was no going back again. There was no asking for redemption of what they had already done. They had already gone too far. They had already taken the path they wanted to. So lyrically, always Mili is gorgeous. Cassie Way has such a way with words, no pun intended. The music on this one was very romanticized. It had a lot of lifting. There were some really cool elements in there, like, of course, that like kind of staticky, aggressive drum stuff, the stuff that was again off rhythm and not landing on the standard 4-count rhythm, that made it feel again like something was kind of falling apart. It wasn't lining up. It was very similar to how the Reverse 1999 song I listened to recently did, with never lining up the beat to make it feel like something is off constantly. And that is a really effective way to do that in music. And this whole song really just aggressively shoves in your face that things are not working, and they never will. And that can be a difficult pill to swallow. So there's 100% that depression that comes along with the lack of ability to lock in with somebody else, probably in this case a lover, in their vision of what they want to do. You never want to be married or in a relationship with somebody that you can't align with on something this major, whatever it happens to be. And the fact that they can't, for whatever reason, is entirely why this song hits as hard as it does. I am, again, assuming a lot with this story. I don't have a clue what's actually happening here, but with the way that she sang it, having the lower register and the higher register, that feels like a relationship dynamic between a man and a woman, and it would make sense to have some sort of a relationship fallout between all of that. Like, it's always such an interesting experience to listen to these songs and try to break them down without any of that context, and it can be difficult because I don't have that context from the game. But again, Cassie and Mili in general as a group, they're so good at personifying those intentions in both the music and the lyrics, and I love every single song that they do, because heavily metaphorical or a little bit easier to understand in full context like this one on its own, it still hits just as hard, and it still makes you feel all of the emotion going into every single little bit of the song. It's just so beautiful 100% of the time. But there's also the high possibility that I'm completely off base and they're talking about like literal giraffes and elephants being best friends. I couldn't tell you for sure, especially with Mili. But either way, I think I've digressed enough on this song. I hope I'm correct. If I am, or if I'm not, let me know down below and I will read it for sure. I read every comment for some reason. And if you have any other songs you want me to listen to from Mili or any other game or anything ever, anywhere, leave it down in the comments as well. Let me know what they are and I will do my best to get to it. And otherwise, if you just like this video and you want to see more of these and follow and support me and all that, you know how to do all that. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!